Young dudes ain't buying what the progressives are selling. The headline here is from the Survey Center on American Life, and the question is a rhetorical one. Are young men becoming conservative? Now, here's what's interesting. Young men are trending toward conservative values at higher rates than has been ever recorded in the last 50 years. What we're seeing is young men are saying, I'm a dude. I would like to work a job. I don't care about your pronouns. I would like to marry a girl. We would like to have children and buy a home. Those are the things that motivate and drive young men. And as education and universities has been taken over by feminism and transgenderism and social demonic cultural Marxism, young men are saying, I'm out. I'm not buying what you're selling. This is why young men are going into the trades, not the colleges. If you go to the college, they brainwash you, they give you classes in gender studies, and then at the end, they hand you a debt so that you can pay off with a job that doesn't provide any income. What we're seeing now is young men are saying, I don't want to be progressive, I want to be conservative. Meaning, just because it's new doesn't mean it's improved. New views of gender, new views of marriage, new views of family are not necessarily better, they're bankrupt. If something has been working for thousands of years and it has been believed by God's people, like the fact that gender is binary, chosen by God at birth, that marriage is for a man and a woman, that children are awesome, and that being a father is a dignity, and that providing for and protecting your family is an honor, you're not going to get any of that from the progressive left. The progressive left at this point, including the Democratic Party, has nothing to offer young men. As a result, young men have no interest in progressive ideas or Democratic candidates. And what we're seeing now, I've got a few statistics here. For 12th grade boys, the percentage of high school senior guys who consider themselves conservative is up 20% in recent years. For the first time in more than 50 years, the majority of young men, they identify as conservative. Conversely, the majority of young women are trending as liberals. And so what we're seeing is young men want to get married, but they're going to have a hard time finding women to marry because a lot of those women, they want to be lesbians and or they want to have abortions, neither of which is very exciting if you're looking for a wife who wants to also be a mother. And so what we are seeing now is an absolute fracturing between young men and young women. And young men are rejecting the progressive vision, which is ultimately gender confusion, cultural Marxism, the enlargement of government, the removal of rights, and the denial of God. And so what does this provide for the church? Well, hear what the Spirit of God is saying to the church. An entire generation of young men is saying, I want to be a man who marries a woman and works a job and has a family. Okay, praise be to God that those masculine instincts are being pulled out of a generation of young men. The question is, where do they go to get taught how to do just that? If they go to the university, it is worthless and not helpful. If they go to social media, that is not the diet that they will be fed. The only hope is the Church of Jesus Christ. This entire beginning and stirring of a young generation of men who are aspiring to conservative values like faith and family and freedom and fatherhood, the Church of Jesus Christ is the only hope. If you are a leader in a church or the pastor of a church, whatever you're doing, you need to stop and you need to refocus all of your energy and attention toward reaching young men, toward activating young men, toward discipling young men. Because here's what I know. If you build men up to bless women and children, those women don't need to have abortions, they can have families. Those women don't need to be lesbians, they can have husbands. Those women don't need to be progressive, they instead can be Christians. And so once you get them in, you change the culture. If you fail them in, you lose the opportunity.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Pastor Mark. I've been teaching the Bible for more than 3 decades and head-on constant collisions with woke culture. And I would love to get you more Bible teaching. 2 things you can do. Go ahead and watch the sermon in total and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll just keep sending you Bible teaching and we'll have a lot more fun together.